Right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Hammer One coming to you with a lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Dash. As always, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the brothers that let us continually doing this work in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity. So this is going to be a quick hit. Lord willing, it will be edifying. And yeah, man, let's jump straight into it. So this is something I picked up on watching a video today, and they got these plans for their technocratic society, their fourth industrial revolution. They're using all the buzzwords and all the things that they've basically created to push forth, into their NWO, man. All right, one of these things they're talking about, and is inevitable going to happen, according to them, is they're smart cities, man. So cities based around the infrastructure having everything that citizens need inside the city. Plus the tracking of individuals and the gathering of information on individuals. Basically, it's like it's a prison that you think you're free in, man. Anyway, I've got some things I want to get into to make it more clear, and then I'll get the scriptures. So this is Sky News. It says, prepare for climate lockdowns. Rogue British Council wants to strip you of freedoms and everyday liberties. Sky News host Rowan Dean says, according to Darren Burks at an independent website Vision News, the Oxfordshire County Council is planning to embark on climate lockdowns in 2024. And that's not just going to be there. The reason why they choose somewhere like that, because Oxford is a pretty quiet, well-established, a well-to-do town, The crime rate in Oxford is not like, North London, South London, or whatever. East London, it's it's a bit more established, like I said, So the people are unlikely to, cause some form of rebellion. There's always someone, or there's always few that want to rebel. But they pick their targets wisely. It's a target. They picked it wisely. So this Darren Burke says, I believe we are facing a sinister threat to the freedoms and everyday liberties that that we and our parents have taken granted for all our their lives, Mr. Dean said. But are being squeezed out of us by woke left-wing authoritarian governments more effectively than Python crushing the breath out of Mrs. Kafoop's pet, which I'm not sure what that reference is, but hey. And he says, if we don't wake up soon and start saying no, it'll be too late. So, he says left wing, man. They always want to talk about it politically, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in charge, man. It doesn't matter who's in charge. Over here we have the Conservatives and we have the Labour Party. It doesn't matter which one of those parties are in charge. The results will be the same. All right. So let's get a couple more articles, right, to get the understanding what we're dealing with here. So 15-minute city, right? How real can it be? This is basically a smart city. A 15-minute city is meaning that everything you need is within 15 minutes range. So they don't, and they're using under the guise of climate change, man. So they want people on bikes and public transport. We already know what Klaus Schwab said, man, about owning nothing and being happy. So they're basically telling you this, right? They don't want you to own your cars and anything else that's going to get you around. You can own a bike, but your cars, man. That's why they're pushing for this electric car business, because there's not even an infrastructure for that. But they want to get rid of the cars, man. All right, they don't want you to have any freedoms. So it says the promise of the 15-minute city. Imagine stepping out of your front door onto the street, and your office, an organic supermarket, a pharmacy, and a cafe. Everything you need is just 15 minutes away by foot or bike. So he mentions nothing but of cars, right? The 15-minute city is a relatively recent concept concept developed by a Parisian urban planner. The idea has spread quickly across the world in recent years in an effort to increase community ties and curb climate change. 50-minute cities are simple, compact urban spaces in which citizens can access most of their daily needs by walking or cycling, ideally within 15 minutes or less. The concept of the 15-minute city was fostered in 2016 by urban planning expert Carlos Moreno, a scientist at Sorbonne Business School in Paris. Right, so it says dubbed the return to a local way of life. 15-minute cities are compact spaces built to fit entire communities. In the wake of COVID-19 and environmentalist urges to build back better, that's one of their phrases, man. Moreno pushed the 15-minute city concept in a 2021 article. His recent proposal stipulates 6 essential functions which citizens of 15-minute cities must have walking or biking access to from their homes. So it says living needs such as groceries, drugstores and gyms, commercial shops, healthcare, education, work and entertainment. So it goes into the benefits: eco-friendly, health and happiness, increased free time, improved local economy. They always try to sell you these things, that saying it's for the benefit of you, man. But, it never is. It's always for the benefit of them. So let's get what a smart city actually is, man. According to Wikipedia, it says a smart city is a technologically modern urban area that uses different types of electronic methods and sensors to collect specific data. See, now we're really getting into it. You see? It says information gained from that data is used to manage assets, resources, and services efficiently. In return, that data is used to improve operations across the city. This includes data collected from citizens, devices, buildings, and assets that is processed and analyzed to monitor and manage traffic and transportation systems. So basically that's the long and short of it. So just trying to see if there's anything else worth because there was basically a video I watched, and they were talking about how you're only allowed to have a certain amount of time outside of this these smart cities, man. Right, here's something, right? So in the smart cities, so these are, what is it under? Criticism of smart cities, right? Where was I? Right. So it says in the smart city environment, right here. In the smart city environment, there are many threats that affect the privacy of individuals. The technology is involved. The technology is involved in scanning identification, checking the current location, including time and direction of movement. Residents may feel that they are constantly monitored and controlled. Now, we've all seen those dystopian movies, man. So we know what the drill is. This is what this is all about. All right, this is what this is all about. At the end of the day, Esau wanted to control everything, man. So anyway, let's just get a few scriptures, man. And I just brought this out so whoever watches this can look into it themselves. And You know, see, just see what's coming around the corner, man. They're bringing out all types of, things to build up to establish their NWO, man. The infrastructure for it is being built around us as we speak. This is 2nd Ezra 15 in the Apocrypha. And 14 it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Right? Sedition among men, man. That's already happening now. You know. Plus you've got this cost of living crisis, and the rich getting richer, and politicians, everything's coming on top now. Politicians are getting found out. The celebrities are getting found out for their satanic, wicked ways, to do with all the, messing with minors and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, this is the time to Esau's being revealed, man. To be that man of perdition. Verse 17 says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." So that's basically, they're about to fulfill that prophecy, man. And that's just the beginning of it, all right? That's just the beginning of it, when everything seems like, that kind of utopian society where everything's run smoothly, and they walk down the street and everything's clean, the air is fresh, everything's on time, blah, 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 blah. But really, what you don't understand is that you're going to be oppressed, man. That's oppression, because you won't be able to go here, there, and everywhere, wherever you want to go, how you want to go. If you're in a city where everything you need is there, 15 minutes away, then unless you're going on a trip, what's the need for you to go any further? And that's the point. They don't want you to go any further, man. They want to block everybody up in these mega cities, right? And just like you see in that movie Dread. Watch that movie Dread, man, because that movie's spiritual. But just like you see in that movie, yeah, you got the mega cities, and the vast landscape on the outside of the cities are bare, man. And that's because these rich elites, like Bill Gates, who has done so, want to buy up all the land. This is because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this is going further into the future, past all of the initial everything being rosy, because after that it's gonna start to get serious, man. You got famines and all that coming. All right, food shortages. People are already talking about that, man. People can't even if there is food, people right now, a lot of people can't afford to buy it and can't afford to heat their homes, man. It says verse 19 says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." So that's your neighbor running up on you, taking what you got, man. So, being diligent, not to say that you should have too much, be fearful, but, who's around you, man? Where do you live? Are you living in a place, it's not, everyone's got a choice, man. What I'm saying is, you don't know who's going to switch on you and turn on you in those times, man. All right. Let's jump into 2nd Ezra 16, and I'll go down to 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? That's these are all precursors, man. And these peons on this earth are walking around not understanding what time we're in. Thinking that everything's going to pass and it's going to go back to normal and everyone's going to be living their best life again and blah, blah, blah. No. Evil times are upon us, man. That's what it says. That's what it says, right? What shall I do when these evils shall come? It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So the Lord is sending these, man. This place needs to get fixed up. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. You know, because certain things aren't hitting up everybody right now. Not everyone's catching heat, right? But sooner or later, everyone will be catching heat, man. Then everyone's going to realize that they've been turned over by the rulers of this earth. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So it keeps talking about sword, which is war, basically. You know, famine and confusion is at an all-time high, man. You know, I caught just a quick one before I close this out. I caught a video of that Pastor David Lynn, man. All right, he likes to walk around, you know, talking in the streets. Doesn't really bring out the scriptures, man, but he likes to do a lot of talking, and he talks a lot against, you know, the alphabet business, which is righteous. I'm not gonna knock him for that, but you know, he doesn't bring out the scriptures, man. He talks from his own heart. Right, but what you find that when he's talking against, you know, the alphabet stuff, the people that are absolutely enraged and want to fight for something that's ultimately wicked, that's the confusion, man. People are now. It's you're hateful and wicked to speak the truth. All right, to talk about the natural ways, man, that the Lord made. You know. Psalms 33:10 says, "The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect." All right. So no matter what's going to happen, man, they're never going to reach their full potential, or they're never going to reach, their goal. They might get they'll get some of it in place. You know, people will be oppressed, people will die, people will starve. There will be wars, man. But ultimately, his eternal rulership, thinking that his houses shall continue forever. Esau, that's not going to happen. He says, verse 11 says, the counsel of the Lord Yahweh standeth forever, and the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose power is the Lord Yahweh, and the people whom he hath chosen for his own inheritance. So, like the apostle Tahar said, man, in the video, he says, times not on Esau's side, times on our side, man. Because we're in that time now where he's going to try and do all he can to fulfill his dream of his new world order, man. But he's really getting played, man. The Most High's playing him, man. The Most High is playing Esau. Right, this will be the last one. Like I said, just a quick one, man. Little one's edifying as well, but let me just read this one. Psalms 37:7 says, rest in the Lord Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way. All right? Because we're in this flesh, man. All right? If you're not thinking about certain things, you're supposed to be thinking about what's going to go down. Be diligent, man. And even wary. But no, not scared, not feared though. No fear. All right? It says, fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? So fret not, man. All right? Listen, at the end of the day, we're embracing this, man. I keep saying, to the heathens around me in my workplace and all of that, that it's a great time to be alive, man, because we're about to witness the downfall of this wicked kingdom, man, all over the earth. Babylon's reach is about to fail, man. All right. So anyway, a quick hit with that. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, Basham Dash. And Lord willing, this is edifying, and shalom to the next one.